Hello, my name is Rick Kincaid, and I am applying for a facilitator position with the OLNTT program's upcoming 3-year contract. So in relation to the three topics that you asked me to address, first, my approach to presenting. My approach is heavily influenced by what I learned in the early years of OLNTT. Know your content, rehearse the presentation and internalize it, rehearse the presentation with a partner and gain feedback for clarity, establish predetermined formative questions to check for participant understanding, establish exemplar answers to those questions, and when presenting, don't accept an incomplete answer or move on until we have confidence that we're on solid ground to do so. And then take time to review if necessary. As far as engagement strategies, for me, engagement strategies are not just for keeping students engaged, but also for making the lesson engaging. It's an interaction with participants that keeps the lesson fun and not just static. For individuals, I may ask about what they're wearing or where they're sitting or where they're from. I rarely call out a name and call someone out specifically like that. For groups, I like to form 2 or 3 groups of 3. Ask a question, give them about 90 seconds to come up with an answer, have them share out, and then ask a 4th group to put what was shared into their own words. Usually I make up engagement techniques on the fly as I gain more insight into the participants. Instructional feedback. My approach to instructional feedback, no matter what the age, is to give them a safe place to explore areas of growth. It's not a place to highlight mistakes. If a particular participant clearly doesn't understand the concept, I try to give them an out by taking the blame myself and saying something like, I'm not sure I fully explained this concept well enough. Do you mind if I share the main points again and try to communicate better? If it's written feedback, I usually start with, you may want to consider, and then elaborate on whatever the topic is. It's important to me to feel that they're in the process of learning and they're not just stuck. This is especially true for men because men tend to give up early if they don't feel like they got it right the first time, or even worse, assume that we know more than we really do. Team dynamics. For 16 years, before I became an instructor, I owned a custom cabinetry business. A large portion of our work was in the Brentwood and Franklin area. It was important to me that my employees were cross-trained in all aspects of the business, from design to construction to finishing to installation, as well as proficiency in the 24 pieces of machinery that we had in the shop. I tried to give employees an assignment that played into their strengths, but if someone was out for a day or two, someone else could easily fill in their role in order to maintain our schedule without sacrificing quality. Good teams do that. They understand their roles and their responsibilities. They know how they affect each other as a team, and they have each other's backs. So I know that sounds a lot more like group management than team dynamics, but I feel like if a team is well established from the beginning, it alleviates a lot of problems down the road. Well, that's all I have. Thanks for your time, and thanks for considering me for the team. I look forward to our interview on Monday the 23rd. Bye for now.